to chair. Everybody, everybody with an emoji showing our hands clapping. Let's welcome Mr. Uga Godswill. Because
Drum
he's the one
roll.
that's going to speak, right? So you guys should cheer our speaker up with our clapping emoji. Thank you.
Welcome, my boss. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to be here today. I want to believe you can hear me clearly, all right?
Yeah, definitely.
All
Yes, we
right.
can hear you. Please, if
All right.
anybody has a question, they should drop it in the chat box. The questions should be attended to at the end of the meeting. Thank you. You can
All right.
carry on.
So yeah, my name is pronounced Uja. Uja Godsway is my name. Currently, just as you have heard rightly, I'm currently at Kentucky State University, my master's in environmental studies. Uh, I have been given the task to talk about academic application materials and focusing on basically the recommendation letter and the cold email. I also want to appreciate the organizer of this call. I think that would be Theophilus Atiwole. Yeah, we call him Lautech Reporter. That's the name. I have his name saved on my phone. In case you see that on my phone, you know I'm referring to Theophilus.
Thank you.
You may not really understand what he's doing for you now. You may not really appreciate the value of it until when you get here and you hear stories of how people pay 20 million, 30 million,
Mhm.
pay 100K, 150K, 200K just to have sections of so that someone will put them through application or just to even talk to someone. You may not really appreciate that, but that is what he's doing. And I believe this is not the first thing he is doing. Yes, if I joined earlier and I could hear the statement saying I have done series with you guys. I have done a lot of series with you guys and he's even recording the videos. So what you get on the platter of gold by just knowing him or applying, I think maybe there's a way he selected you guys. Many people would pay through their nose to get that, I can assure you. So I want to urge you to make the best use of opportunity you have and access to him. You have access to him. And when you have access to him, through him, you also have access to a whole lot of persons that you will need to meet on your application journey or what we call the scholarship journey. So what I want to do today is I will be sharing my screen and then I'll be showing, I'll be teaching you through my experience. That's what I intend to do. And so what is my experience? So I am someone who you would call a fighter. It took me 4 years to be here. I don't wish anybody would go through that. But then, as the Bible says, that times and season happen to them all. That is how I have come to sum up everything on my journey. But I'll also be sharing tips and tricks to keep you fighting, to make you better, and even how you can learn from my mistakes during the course of my application journey. So I would like to start with the application materials. And I heard him saying that you guys talked about um, the SOP already. You talked about the CV. You talked about uh, I don't know. I think you should have spoken about publications already. So I'll just do that briefly, and then I'll go straight to cold mail and then recommendation letters. If I am too fast, please let me know. If I talk too fast, please let me know so I can slow down. So if you are on this call, I want to believe that by this time you already have your passports. This is June. In a month and some days, that will be August. We'll be in August, and you want to start your application. You want to start early. You should have a draft of your plans by now. You should have on your Excel sheet a list of at least 20 schools you intend to apply to this year. You may not exhaust the list in your application, but you want to be strategic in your application. But it makes sense when you have a large number of schools you're applying to, so that it is better to have 5 yeses and then choose from all the 5 yeses than just be looking for just 1 yes. It's a whole different uh, experience entirely when you have 5 yeses and you have 1 yes, or you're looking for 1 yes. So when you apply to more schools, you have a chance. I know Theophilus would have told you he applied to about 10 schools and then you had to choose. So it makes sense when you are choosing from an angle of convenience. You're trying to look at, oh, this school, I don't like the fact that they will not cover my insurance. This school cover my insurance. Oh, I have friends in this school. I would like this school. So you'll be able to choose. But when you don't have option, you go with whatever yes you get. And so to be at an advantage, it makes sense that you have your plan draft out. You want to have a list of schools you intend to apply to before August. You want to have mapped out lecturers you want to work with who are working in your area of research. You want to have that mapped out. You want to have your CV drafted already and sent to scholars who can help you do a review of your CVs ahead of time, because by August they will get busy. Most of them will resume back to school and they may not really have time to respond to you. Even though in summer they are working, but at least they can always create time for you. But in the fall, when they are in section, they will be going to class and going to do lab work or going to do research. And so they may not really have time to attend to you. So it's pays to start the journey early. So your SOP, you should at least have a draft of your SOP by now. That has also been reviewed by people you can reach out to who are already in grad school. Even your friends too can help you review that. It's not necessarily a scholar does that. Send it to someone else outside you, and then that person helps you to go through it. So and then your publications, if you have any, and then that will take us to the cold mail and the cold recommendation letter. So before I continue, I want to share my screen. Can you give me permission to share my screen? Theophilus.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm working on that now.
All right.
Yeah, I just made you a co-host, so you should be able to
So
share your screen.
I will share my screen now.
Okay.
Screen. Entire screen starts. So let me know if you can see my screen, please. Once you see it, let me know. Can you see my screen?
No.
Okay. How
Oh,
about
I
now?
think it's coming up. Yeah, I think I don't know.
Can anyone see the screen aside Theophilus?
I don't know if it's your
Not
screen I'm
yet.
seeing.
You haven't seen the screen.
What
You
about
haven't
now?
seen it.
Yeah, I can see
Okay,
it.
Okay. All right.
now
So
it has come up.
I was on the call. Yeah. So don't mind me. That was a picture of me and my parents. So I'm trying to share my screen. And so, like I said, I'm going to walk you through my experience. And so I'm going to take you to my mail. I just did some of this. I stored some of this. I start some of my messages just to show you my journey over time. So this
I
is
like
my
it.
screen.
I like
I start some of my messages I send, and also take my time to show you code mails I have sent and lessons you can learn from it. So I will start with the code mail. What is a code mail? A code mail is a way of connecting with an intended supervisor you intend to work with, or a private investigator, as they call it. That's a PI that you intend to work with, showcasing your ability and your skills, your experience, and how you think you fit into the person's research work and progress, and how you can help the person, and that person can also help you, because it's a two-way street. It's a win-win. You give, the person is also giving you. So what do you have to offer? So that is how you should approach your code mail. What do you have to offer? What skills or experiences have you built over the years that makes you uh, um, that makes you qualified, or that gives you the right qualities to enable you help that researcher in his field. That is what you are going to be looking at while you are sending your code mail. So if you look at this, look at the data. I started 2019 partially. I was in 500 level. Then COVID came towards that period, so we finished in 2021. That was from Lautech. And then you see my plant agricultural material. That was on July. So Lautech released our official document of our transcripts, that the original award, BSc BTech award, was somewhere in June. So they released it on June 20, and as at the next month, June 21, July 21, 5th of July 21, I started my applications already. I had drafted my list already, and now you can see graduate recruitment. I started my preparation for my IELTS. You can see British Council IELTS. I reached out to graduate school at Columbia, and they replied me. That's University of British Columbia, Canada. And then I think I heard Theophilus telling you guys that you'll be bringing people from all over the world, because on this journey, you don't want to limit yourself to just one country. We don't all have to be in one country. What matters is where you are you making an impact? Are you growing? Does it help your future career plans? That is what matters. So you don't want to limit yourself and put all your eggs in one basket. So you see, I started with Canada. I started with Canada mostly before I moved to other places. And then you could see the next MSc application. This was the US. Then my results, my British Council results. I don't believe you can see my screen. Then I went. So now, before you apply to any school, this is what a lot of people will not tell you. They just tell you, go to the school site and then check for supervisors and send code. You don't do that. Most of what you have on the website must have been changed or must have been archaic. For instance, where the school I am currently, they do not require GRE any longer. But when you go to their website, you notice that GRE is still there because the school is a complex system. It takes a whole lot of monitoring for someone to remember that, oh, we've not updated our website. It happens that way. In fact, when you check some of the schools in Nigeria, you notice that some of your lecturers' names are not even on the school's website. So it takes a lot of bureaucracy to get things done. And that's why most times what you have on their sites, what you have on their websites is not the current state of the school. So I advise people to always send what I call a prospective graduate school request information. So this is what it looks like. So this is me now. I started. So this is prospective graduate student inquiry. So I had my list of schools, right? So let's say I'm looking at the University of, this was Penn State University. I went to their website. For every program that you are attending, there's what we call a graduate coordinator. The graduate coordinator is also going to be a lecturer in that department you're applying to. But that person has an extra duty. His duty is to give you up-to-date information on what the graduate application system looks like in that school. Is that person that would most likely sign the documents to say, oh, you've accepted this person, give him his funding letter. That person is in charge. So that person has all the information that is required and needed. That person has all the information that is required and needed. So you want to make sure that you have gone to the site and you identify who the graduate coordinator is. And after identifying who the graduate coordinator is, I also want to advise that you go towards the end of the page, you will see what we call the request information. You see what we call request information. So you have to request information. When you request information, they ask you, what time are you willing to come to this school? You put in your details, put in your email address, tell them the time you want to come. That would help you on the long run. What would that do? That would enable you to be able to get information from the school when they're having what we call their graduate fair sections, which will give you opportunities to get application fee waivers. That's the first thing I would do when I go to any new site intend to, any school I'm looking at. Now, when I define the graduate coordinator, this is what I sent to the graduate coordinator. This has been my format because I was applying after COVID. So I started by telling them, hi, the person's name, my name is this. I have a bachelor's degree in crop production and soil science from Ladwick University of Technology, Gomosho, Nigeria. Now I'm telling this person I have an intent to apply for the Agricultural and Environmental Plant Science program for fall 2023. And I have a few questions I need clarity on. So now I stated that I have read through the departmental websites. I've done my own work, but I believe a few things might have changed. I base this based on pandemic, but for you, you don't have to go this way. You can tell them you just want to be sure that what is on the graduate website is still what the department operates by. In summary, I would like to inquire about, now for this journey, you want to understand your strengths. What are your strengths? For some of us, our strength is that we have a first class. Well, you'll be shocked. That is no longer a strength because there are thousands of people just like you that also have a first class. Your competition is not just with Nigerians or people, the Nigerians you are with. No. And I would like to let you understand something. People you are doing this journey with, even though you're in the same department, they are not your competition, especially those from Nigeria. They are your best friends. You want to ensure that you have a group of people who share similar passion with you. And if you're not even in the same department, I advise that you should be in the same department, but you're not in the same department, just make sure that you are together on the journey. Why is this? Each of these persons will have a network, and some people have gotten admission just because of information that they have. And what is this information? Oh, I applied to this school, to 5 schools. These 5 schools gave me admission. You are looking for admission, not gotten admission yet. 5 schools gave me admission. Okay, so I want to reject 4 of these schools. But before rejecting these 4 schools, I will reach out to the supervisor and tell them, oh, I have a friend who can fit in this position. Before you know it, I'll just tell you, send the code mail to this person and send your application materials. And you'll be shocked. There are people who have gotten admission through that process because they had friends who were also on the same journey together, who had information of an opportunity, and they could share it with them. So you want to make sure you have that. Then you also understand your profile. So for me, I had my bachelor's degree. I had a first class degree. I had written my IELTS, because you notice this is 2022 now, because I know I needed to apply for IELTS and I needed time to study, and I was just going for NYC. So I made sure that I was doing the NYC, I was doing all these things. So I written my IELTS. I had done my what we call the WEST evaluation. So many of you will know that. I think I want to believe that Theophilus has taught you that your WEST evaluation is just like, in summary, you are converting your transcript to the US standard or the Canadian standard. So I'm asking them, oh, I'm applying for an MSc in this school. So I'm saying, do you have funding for MSc students? Do you have tuition waivers? Is there health insurance, stipends, etc.? Do I need to apply separately for funding, or consideration for funding comes automatically with an application? That is the first question, because you don't just apply to a school and they'll just give you admission and there's no funding. Where will you see 40 million or 60 million or 80 million to pay for graduate school? We are trying to make our lives better. We don't have such money, and that's why we are looking for a better life, in a sense. So I'm asking that question. I started to the next step. I said, GPA, required test and minimum test score. So I graduated with this degree. I've done the West. This is it. I took the IELTS. I have this band score. Although I'm not able to take the GRE due to financial constraints. Are these considered competitive for the program? You see, so I understand my profile. I want to be sure that from this career coordinator, the person has record of students who have been to this school and what they looked at before they gave them admission. So I want to know, will I be able to apply to your school with just this, even though I don't have GRE? What are my chances? So I asked, are these considered competitive for the program? What are my chances, considering the fact that I am unable to take the GRE? Now, for me, money was not a problem to take the GRE. Theophilus would bear me witness. Money was not the problem to take the GRE. My problem at that time was the nature of my business that I did, the hustle I did while I was in grad school. While I I just finished from school. I'm always, these people they call karakata, I'm always on the streets, moving up and down. So when I get home around 8, 9, or 10, sometimes, if I say I should read my GRE materials, I'll just spend 1 or 2 hours, sleep has come because I'm very tired. So I knew I needed time to prepare. So, and I kept on giving myself hope that I don't need GRE. I kept on listening to people's story. They apply without GRE. And this is why I want to tell you guys, your story is different. It could be that GRE that you write that makes the difference for you. If you have the opportunity to do something, please do it. It is an worthy investment in your future, because by the time you do it and you are here, every money you spend, you recover it back after 6 months, likely, depending on the type of funding you get. Yes, if you are prudent enough, you should be able to recover the kind of type of funding you have or the kind of school you find yourself. But what matters is make sure you understand your story. You are different from the next person beside you. You have a 2-1, you don't want to take the GRE. Good. We have people that had the 2-1 that did not take the GRE, did not take the IELTS. But the time they were applying is different from your time. So the competition, the time I was applying earlier when I started the journey was there was COVID. So many schools waived GRE. So a lot of people that year gained admission without the GRE, and people are still getting admission up to now without the GRE, just like I did now. But you want to understand what is going on. Every school has their method and application. That's why you need to send this question, send this statement to the graduate coordinator to find out the person has the right information. If you mail them 100 times, this graduate coordinator will reply you 100 times, because that is their duty, that is their job at that point in time. They are the graduate coordinator of that school for that program. So feel free to always reach out to graduate coordinators first before you start thinking of sending any cold mail you want to send. Now, I said, unfortunately, I do not have a publication to my name, except one I had in review. This affects my application. So I'm letting you to understand my profile. I continue. Can I use an unofficial transcript and test scores for the application process? Because I'm applying to your school. I'm not sure you're giving me admission. Why would I go and spend millions of naira to send my transcripts to you, to send official IELTS results score to you, and then you tell me sorry? No. So I had to find out, will you accept this before I even start to click on the application? Now, and I asked, is the admission offer subject to an interview? So some require interview, some not require interview. I stated it, and I continued. How I would also like to know if the application program requires an application fee, the amount, and if there could be an application fee waiver. Now, I understand many of us we just finished school, some of us are still working, but how much are we earning? How will you be able to pay, considering the fact that the dollar to naira ratio is very bad? Yeah, it is. But why you are trying not to pay application fee, you also want to make sure that you are paying for at least some. Out of your list of 20 schools, you're going to apply for 20 schools. If you have money for 10 or 5, pay. Meet your egbon, your uncles, and your aunties, all of them. This is the time, that is the time to tax them. I want to apply for this, not to apply for that thing. Please support me. I have this amount, support me. I have that amount of that. This is what you request from their hands. You have some friends who are also okay, they are doing fine. You know, in better places, you can reach out to them. You don't, anybody that is looking for help does not feel shy when he or she looks for help. This is your future, this is your life. And if you're on this call, if you know that you are not willing to see this through to the end, don't even start, because you will live a life of regret if you don't start, if you are not going to see this through to the end. Remember I said before I started, yeah, your journey is different. Now, I continue to ask, I would like to know if there's an application fee and if there's a waiver. So that way, I will know if I can go ahead and apply to that school. Now, some of them will now reply and tell you, oh, we don't give waiver. Some will tell you, oh, we give waiver on this condition. Some will tell you, attend a graduate fair program, you get waiver. That is how it works. So with this, now, I think I jumped a part where I was supposed to ask that, do I need to contact a supervisor in your school? This mail does not contain that, but you can see that they replied me below, sent me new links and what I should check out for. Then you see, he said, if you find that a faculty member is interested in supporting your graduate work, this is the graduate page. So you see, so they are telling me that don't go and apply, you make sure you have a supervisor before you apply. That saved me that stress of wasting my time and just applying blindly. You see, she gave me a response. And the distance between when she gave me a response was not far at all. And as I was, see, I sent it on 9/11/22. She replied on what? 9/12/22. So I have a list of them like that here. So I did that for almost all the. So when I now need that, oh, yes, I need to contact supervisor. I know not that, for instance, North Dakota will tell you do not need to apply, get a supervisor. Yes, they'll tell you that. They'll tell you that, and you can go ahead and apply. So there are some schools like that, whereby you just get into the school, they will rotate you around several labs, and then you choose in your second year while you are there. So every school has what they work with, and then we go to the code mill. So after I've done that, I now know that I have to send supervisors email and this, and that's where the code mill comes into play. So this is my format. This is format I use. Now, I would like to let you guys understand that the fact that when you start sending this code mail, they don't reply you does not mean that they are not seeing it. They are seeing it, but they are always very busy. And I got to understand them when I got here. Even with my supervisor who I work with, I send him an email. He does not respond until I send him a text to tell him that I have sent an email before he will have time to even go and check the email, because they are doing a whole lot of other stuffs while they are there. They are doing a whole lot of other stuff. So they can be very busy most times. So you can send a reminder maybe after a week or two. That is what you should do. And also take note of holidays that are in the US, so you can know how to plan yourself, and also put into consideration the time difference when you are sending these emails to these people. So this is the person I'm sending my first mail to. Oh, dear Prof, I hope this may meet you well. So I used about 7, 8 paragraphs. This was the longest. I will let you understand what changed over time. So I started by telling them, after reviewing your research areas on the Iowa State websites and discovering that some of your previous works and papers are relevant to my research interest, I humbly write to express my desire to pursue an MSc degree under your supervision for the fall. So I told them the period I want to apply. So the papers I have read, I mentioned it, Abi, and I said, I am intrigued by the papers, and I'm confident that I can contribute significantly to your research team. Then I told them my profile. Then I told this person, my project focused on, so this is a very long one. Currently, I will advise people against doing this. So there is no perfect system. There's exactly, I just want you to know that there's no perfect way of sending. Well, what matters is if that person, your email gets in at the right time, the remaining becomes history. Why am I saying this? So I'm telling you that I started my application since 2021. I did not gain admission until after many years, 4 years. I got here 2025, January. And make no mistake, I was doing the work. Every day, I would scroll through my email for you to see. I cannot tell you the amount of emails I have sent, in code mails I have sent in this life. Yes, I can't mention it. So it is not a matter of what you are sending, most times. It's not a matter of the fact that what you are saying does not meet their expectation. Sometimes it is because they don't have funding and they don't want to discourage you. Some of them are wicked and rude. They can abuse, they can give you harsh words. Some are not able to do that. They are very nice people by heart mostly. When you get here, you find out they are nice. So they don't know how to tell you they don't have. Some of them will go ahead and tell you you have nice application, keep in touch. Some will tell you just keep in touch or check my website. When there's an opportunity, you see it. Some will tell you, oh, I don't have funding now. I wish you the very best. So because they also have gone through this process before they go to the level where they find themselves today. So I went ahead to tell them, oh, for your review, I have attached a copy of my CV, writing sample, and transcript to this email. I was hoping you could tell me whether you have planned to accept new students in your lab for this period. I would also appreciate any additional advice or information that you have for me. I'm sorry. I got a text message trying to reply. All right, so that was how I started. So over time, you don't remain at one position for life. You change your method, you change your strategy. So I stopped sending very long ones like this. So you can see I have started many of these. You could see I just started this one just to show you guys. Now look at this person. This person has replied me. Now look at this one I sent. I'm coming. Did this person reply? Yeah. So this was from University of Minnesota. This person told me we do not require GRE, and all submitted GRE scores are not reviewed by the admissions committee. So I know that when I apply to this school, even though people have GRE applying to that school, that is not considered for application. They will tell you what is accepted. That is the beauty of sending. So now you see, said many applicants apply with no publications. So that shouldn't be a problem for your application. So you see, this person is taking time to respond to the questions I asked via the message I sent. This is another grad code from University of Minnesota. And let me go to one of my recent code mails I can share with you. Okay, good. Now, this is what I want to teach you from here. Now, this is the shortest code mail I've ever sent. And this became the method I used for all my applications. Even the other one I sent, so I got responses. So there is no way to go about it. But since you understand that these people are very busy, they don't have time. So you want to go straight to the point and not talk too much. So this was University of Delaware. So Professor Jai C. Deb. So look at this is it. So my name is Uja Godswe. I'm writing to express my interest in the master's program in this school. I went straight to the point. I recently received this degree and I'm still in this position in fall. After reviewing your research, so I summarized this research and I said, I believe we share similar interest in soil biogeochemistry and nutrient cycling and dynamics. So I have a background in crop production and soil science. So in Lautech, we are taught crop and soil, even up to 500 level. So we have that opportunity of doing purely crop, doing purely soil. When I went for my NYC also, I worked in a soil lab. I also, after my NYC, I had opportunity to go for trainings at IITA. So I could easily branch to any of them. I could tailor my write-up to meet up either crop application or soil application. So I now continued. So I know this time I just said I have attached a copy of my CV, writing sample, results, and transcript to this email for your review. I was hoping you could tell me if you intend to admit new students to your team in the fall of 2023. I would also appreciate any additional information or advice you have. I eagerly await your response. So you see this document below. Now, some of you don't go and send your document, your CV one by one. No, you don't do that. So you go to ilovepdf.com, convert your documents that you want to send to PDF. Then you see where to say combine PDF. So you drop everything together and to compile the PDF into one. So this is it, for instance. I'm opening the document from that here. So you see, this is my CV. This is my CV, right? Then it is loading. After my CV, what is there? My transcript. My transcript is what you see there. So I converted it to PDF. So this is my CV, my transcripts, as you can see. Now, what is the next thing? This is my publication. So I had the publication which was under review. I just put it there. Myself and a lecturer at Lautech and two other colleagues. I added the publication. Some people will not add their publication since it's already on their CV. Person can just check you out online and check. So that's what I did. And that was all. So I submitted to this particular person after going through his profile. Now, I sent the mail in on 11/29/2022, right? Now, this is what? 12/1/2022, which tells you that he had not replied me for about about 2 weeks. So what did I do? I sent a reminder. I said, this is a gentle reminder to my email above. I understand you could be very busy, and a response from you will be highly appreciated. Hope to hear from you soon. Stay safe and healthy. And I use my name, my sign, best regards, Uja Godswill. What happened? There was no response, Abi. I continued again. This was the first. There was no response, Abi. So I continued again. Look at, I sent another one again. Then he replied. So you see, I had to send him 2 times. I had to send him a reminder twice, 12/1/22, 12/6/22, before he now replied. Hi, Uja. Thanks for reaching me and expressing your interest to be admitted at University of Delaware and joining in my research team. While your CV looks pretty good and your rank in the program is impressive, the degree of fit in my program could be not that solid. We are chemistry-driven lab, where students with strong command in organic and general chemistry and instrumentation do well. We do not do general economic projects such as those response research on plant growth. Do you have any courses taken in specific strengths in organic chemistry and advanced instrumentation, such as standard tandem mass or any other mass spectrometer or chromatography-based separation method? So this person is working on soil chemistry, and that's why I reached out to him. And then you see, he replied me. That after two responses, then I told him I have that experience, and I've attached that to his email. He now checked it. Then next he told me, oh, he said, thanks for your response. If you feel strongly that your program meets the needs of the program, you might choose to apply, right? That's what he said. Now he said, reading a few papers that are first authored from my members could provide an insight about my papers. Now, giving you some background, that competitive students for 12 months assistantship, that is around 29 to 30K, used to have what? GRE scores of 315 and above. For your case, TOEFL is not needed since I have IELTS. Then he told me to visit and apply. So I applied, and it was love letter that ended the chat. Many thanks for your continued, because I had an interview with him. And I said, this year, my grant fundings are more on the fundamental chemistry aspects, and those on applied soil water chemistry became low or are currently filled. So at the end of the day, the decision was based more on the degree of fit and the background needed for the project. So you see, so not that I was not good. That was he is very nice. He was even telling me everything. Not that I don't have the criteria, but my experiences does not align perfectly to the kind of research he wants to do this year, based on the funding that he got. This is the person that explained, that gave you a reason. So sometimes it's not because your profile is not good, or you have not tried, or you not strive. You will. But what is the degree of fit with that person's lab? Is there a fit with what you have done, your past experiences, and what the person is currently doing? Or what if the person was working, for instance, when I got here, there's a professor I wanted to work with. Her name is Obola Pamela. She has an experience on our website. What you see, sustainable agriculture, you see organic agriculture. But when I went to meet her in her office when I got here, she told me she's leaving organic agriculture. Her funding is no longer coming on organic agriculture. So if I had sent a cold mail and told her I want to work in organic agriculture, what do you think will happen? I'll be rejected, because she is not going, because I would have tailored my CV to fit organic agriculture. My statement of purpose, I've tailored it to fit what? Organic agriculture. So she would have rejected me because she no longer has funding on organic agriculture, but she's going into a new area. So most times it's not because you are not sending perfectly. Now you see, so I did the same thing over time. This was Professor Chen. So so I start some of them yesterday, but let me now go to this and show you. Let me show you something. Inbox star, prospective grad students. So these are some of my emails over the years. You see, this one told me, thank you for your interest in my research program. I regret to inform you that I do not currently have any opening for graduate students for the upcoming semester. Can you see? Please feel free to visit my website. Check for opening and position. Best of luck in your endeavor. This one is very nice. Let me continue. I've shown you that. This person also, I've applied to this person. I'm trying to, let me go back to Let me take you back over the years. So I sent, because I already have a list before applying. So I'm not just sending code mail for code mail's sake. I have a list. I've contacted the schools I want to apply to, all of them. I have contacted all of them before I started my application process. And then I now know which school require me to send code mail, which school require me to just apply directly. And that was the approach I did. Now, I did not just focus on just the US. I also sent code mail as far as Australia. As you soon see, I sent code mails to Australia. I sent code mails to Canada. Some I did not get responses till today. Some I got responses. And that is how it is. So it is not a matter of, may not actually necessarily be your fault, but at the time of your application, maybe the person does not have funding. The person is still looking for funding. And if the person gets funding, you might be considered. The person does not get funding, will not be considered. So that is how it is. And then you're not the only one sending mail. They receive thousands of mail every day. Yes, they receive thousands of mails every day. Let me use this as a search. So I just test perspective. So see, these are some of my mails. Grad students application. I'm trying to see I'm coming. Let's see, you there. Okay, let me start by school. So this is Delaware alone. This was the mail I sent to Delaware. So you see, before I started sending code mail, look at the top. What did you see? University of Delaware. I first asked questions. Then Delaware gave me application fee waiver because they told me in their response that for 10 graduate application, graduate fair opportunities, they will give me waiver. And so they gave me the waiver. Then I started sending code mails. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm trying to let you see that it is work. It's not something you just sit down and think, if you don't do the work, it will just work out that way. No, you have to put in the work. Yes, many will hear you. Some will reply you. Some will tell you, keep in touch. Some will tell you, sorry, down position. Some will tell you, I wish you the very best. What matters is make sure before you start sending code mails, you understand that is the way the school application system works. Please take note of that. Make sure that is the way the school application system works. I know for Georgia State University, for instance, in the department in integrated plant science, you should not send code mails to supervisors. They don't like it. And I can say this based on people I know who are there. They do not like it. So every of these schools have their method. So you don't just say you want to start sending code mail, it's not for morning tonight, and you're sending code mail, you say they not reply you. Yes, some will not reply you normally, but that is how it is over here. Okay, I think I know where to go to now. Let me go to Sense. So you guys will see it in Sense. My mail. So this is just my Yahoo mail. Sorry. Inbox. Yeah. Sense. So I want you guys to see how it started. So you can now see these are code mails. University of Helsinki, inquiry. Massachusetts University, UK. So these are code mails I have sent. Helsinki. So you can see these are code mails I sent. Over the year, I have lost count. I have lost count. I have lost count. Can you see? I'm still scrolling. Oh. I'm still scrolling. Can you see? I am still scrolling. I'm still scrolling. Some even gave me PTSD. Like I could remember one particular name. He keep on posting that he's looking for students. And then when I message him, he does not reply. Bonvik or something from a particular school. So it is not, you just only need one of them to tell you, oh, yes, I am ready. Oh, yes, I would like to work with you. Oh, yes, send me an email. Oh, yes, let us have a meeting. That is what you need, just 1 year. So you don't say because they did not reply you, you now stop sending code mails. Can you see I'm still scrolling? Oh? This IM, I'm still scrolling. UKY. You see the ending of the names. You see VT, Virginia Tech, TTU, Tennessee, it should be Tennessee State, I think. You see? AAMU, Texas A&M. So I was still sending Hawaii. This school, I've wasn't in, is a school in somewhere in the US, Arizona. Can you see? UFA, University of Florida. Missouri State, Missouri, not Dakota State. So I kept sending. This is just my Yahoo mail. If I go
Wow.
to my, if I go to my my Gmail, you also see. Then Lautech blocked my student mail recently, so I would have shown you more there. Yeah, this was the one that gave me PTSD. This particular guy, I can't forget. Let me start it now. He keep on posting that I need students, but when I mail him, he does not respond. That's how funny it is. So it is not. It is so when you don't get a response, don't think you are at fault or what are you not doing right. No, it's not a function of what you are not doing right. So this is how. So I've lost count. I have lost count. So because I have a focus, I have a plan, and I said this is what I want to do, and that's how I started. So first year went nothing, second year went nothing, third year went nothing, and now we are fourth year went nothing, and here I am in the fifth year. So your journey may not be like this. What am I saying? So I have other colleagues who also started the journey. People I talk to, I take them as young ones, and I added them just like Lautech reporter. He's on a group where I'm always very active. I send information there, and I help people do one or two things from time to time. Now there are people that I have sent my own seed. I sent them my SOP format, the same department too. I sent them. Now it was just the first two code mails that this person sent that she got the admission. She sent the first two code mails, University of Georgia, to this lady, and the woman said, "Yes, I would like to work with you. Let us have a meeting." It came as a shock. How come? This person only sent two. I have someone that sent only one. Only one. Whereas this is me, I've spent I'm not exaggerating, I've sent more than 400. I have sent more than 400. And that is me still trying to be humble.
God, 400.
This is me trying to be humble. There are thousands of schools in the US. If you go to usnews.com, US visa 4icu.org, I'm sure Theophilus has told you these things. You'll see schools. There are thousands of schools in the US. So I have sent code mails, but I have seen people that only sent once, twice, 3 times. That's someone that told me you only sent like 10. Some did not send at all. So your journey is going to be different. So you have to understand yourself and understand the approach you want to take. So for me, from my experience, I've decided that if I tell people to do application, I tell them first inquire from the graduate coordinator. That's why I took you through the career coordinator route first before the emails. You just start sending code mails. And then when they don't respond, it's not your fault. They don't have funding. Some will respond and tell you they will tell you why they are not responding. I have one. I sent a mail to her she's in Canada. I sent a mail to her in January. So until December, she replied me and she told me, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just gave birth. I was not in school at that time, but I'm just resuming back. So I need to just apply for funding. You can still wait, and if something comes up, I'll let you know." So yeah, you get something like that, but you may not really need to send 400. But how will you know how many you have to send before you just get that one supervisor who will say, "Yes, I want to work with you." That will tell you, "Oh, go ahead and apply." So now this is the next step. So they'll tell you to go ahead and apply. Does not mean that you're not going to relax and sit down and say, "Yes, it is coming." No, there's what we call shanking. They can shank you. If they see a student who is better, who they feel is better, who will do better, maybe the person has an MSc, you'll be left out. So I applied to, as far as, yes, so since I have evidence, let me just show you. As far as South Korea, yes, Dong A University, I can't forget their name. That's how far I went because I was not willing to limit myself. I wanted to go to grad school. I don't have the money. I wanted the hope of a better life, in a sense. Yeah, I wanted a place that will appreciate the work I do as a researcher, and that's what I'm trying to apply. So let's see if I have it here. Dong A University. So Dong A University is a university in South Korea that I had to apply to. So this is how I spread my thinking down to Australia. So during that time I was sending code news to Australia, I found out that if you're applying to a PhD in Australia, most times, most of the schools in Australia for my field, they only accept you if you have an MSc. Whereas if you have an external funding from a body, there's an Australian scholarship we usually do every 3 months. Yes. Once you have a funding for an external body, you can apply as an MSc. That funding will cover you. So their own process is different from the US process. You just have to send code mail and you meet your supervisor. Most times, the Australian method, if the person himself, the supervisor himself does not have funding, you can use your own funding, submit a research proposal, And if person likes it, will tell you, yes, I use your funding and come. I'll be willing to work with you. So, but you don't know all these things if you have not asked questions. You don't just go stand up and start searching school and start sending code mails. You don't do that. Some of them were blunt with me and told me, oh, you have a bachelor's, get an MSc first and then reach out to me. Someone told me that. Someone told me, oh, in Australia, you should know that we don't really accept MSc directly. Whereas I had a colleague who, I don't know if it was an, so that I'm talking about network. There's people that have insider information. So you have people in that school already. That person just told him to apply, to send a mail to that person. And he sent a mail. He does not have an MSc. He's currently, should be rounding up this year from Australia. He said, and he went with a bachelor's. He finished, he only had a bachelor's degree. So you see, everybody's journey is different. So you don't know where it is going to work out for you. For me, eventually, when I would get my admission, I did not send code mail. I did not send code mail. Oh. Someone just told me, I was in the office that day, and someone told me, oh, a friend of mine who we were on the journey together, who is already in the US, he said, oh, I think my school just removed just with their GRE, because I did not have the GREs at that time. You could consider adding my school to your list. And since I had my SOP already ready on my table, and I was go to school, I was not doing anything that day. I just called another friend in the US, told him, I want to apply to this school, I need some dollars. Told him paid part for me, and I raised the other part myself, and I applied. Now, this is very shocking. I applied in January 2024. By January, all your application material must have been submitted. I hope you know. I'm sure Theophilus has taught you. Now, I applied by January. No, sorry. I applied by February. It was February. I can remember it was February. By April, I had admission. By August, I got funding letter. And now I'm in the US. So what would I like to say from here? What I'm trying to understand that. So while we are telling you, do this, do that, do this, you will not know which will work for you. But you don't know if you have not tried. You don't know if you give up. Because I can tell you, for so many of us are not so lucky to just send one code mail and it comes, bam. Even if you have all the criteria, I had a very good profile. 4.72 is no joke. You are 5.0. I had publication. I had experience. I worked with organizations while I was on campus. JCIN Lautech. I worked there. I had an agricultural hub. I started while I was in school. So if it was profile, I had it. But it was not just coming. But if I had given up, and then my friend returned and said, oh, try my school. Oh, what is the essence? Oh, I'll just wait, Jerry. That is how I would have missed it if I had not given it a try. So for me, I'll tell you, have colleagues that you have similar passion with. Have people who are already in the US as mentors who can guide you. Depending on the type of, there are different type of mentors. That's not my topic for today, but who can guide you, who can get insider information for you. Like before this meeting, I was on a call with someone and he was telling me he has a professor on water quality. That because he does not have MSc, that's why he has not finished MSc, that's why he cannot apply. But he knows that person needs a PhD student. If I knew someone that had an MSc that wanted to do that stuff, for instance, now, I would have told him, I'll just call the person and say, hey, go and send a mail to this person. He needs a PhD student. Package yourself properly. That person will get it and you think, but you never know all these things. So there are a lot of background stories to application processes. So I want to let you know that what matters is doing your part and not giving up. That's what matters. So I've shared with you my code mail. So I want to share with you what to do for your recommendation letter. So for your recommendation letter, I advise people. I was very close with my lecturers in campus. In fact, in the Department of Crop and Production and Soil Science, there's no office I cannot enter. Yes, that is how I created my relationship with my supervisors. There was no office I could not enter. No office. Till today, there's no office I could not enter. Even when I still left in January, I left Ogumosho in December. There was no office I cannot enter. Why? I created that relationship with lecturers. And what am I saying is, many of you, when you start your application process, you find out that some lecturers will take 100 years to reply you. What I did was I made them understand what my dreams were. I told them I had interest in this and that. And they bought into it and they told me they were willing to support me. Yes, I had the opportunity. So for my application process, I never have people, I see people complaining, they tell you, oh, recommendation letter is what they did them. They've applied, they're waiting for the third lecturer to send his own letter. They'll call. They'll test. No. So you have to have created relationships with supervisors. Now, if you have not created relationship and you are still in school, or you just left school, I advise you, because it's a win-win. You cannot just come up out of the blue and tell me, I'm applying to this school, help me send. No, you don't do that. You create relationship. They are important that you create relationships. So I created relationships with these people. I send them, if you're on my contact list, I just updated my phone in case for those that just know me. If you never receive my message every new month, you must receive a happy new month message from me. I keep contacts. That's how I do. Sometimes I send it as a text message. All my supervisors and professors I've worked with, I have a list on text message. I wish them happy new month. God bless you and your family. They remember that. In fact, a particular month, I forgot to send it. One of them called me. Uja, we did not see your message today. Ma'am, sorry. I woke up late. It looks like it is a stupid thing, but those small hearts, or you are passing by the faculty, just enter the office, knock and enter. Was waking king, sir. Was waking king, sir. I just had to say hello. You think it is? It is no. They are also human beings. So you want to create relationship with these people so that by the time you start your application, it becomes easy. So for me, I told you I applied in February. I finished the application in a day. Why? The 3 people I put on my application letter, immediately they got the mail. They sent it and they called me, Huja, I saw your mail, I have sent it. See, imagine, the supervisor is one calling me to tell me they saw it, they have sent it. I had not messaged them to tell them, so I put your name, so and so, so and so. No, they've seen it and they're now calling me. Oh, Huja, I'll help you to send it. Have you seen it? You get a notification when they send your letter of recommendation. So that is why building relationship with your supervisors are very, very important and will go a long way for you. Your current supervisor, and at least, I tell people, at least 3 others. If you can have more, have more. Me, I had more. So there was no, if I have used 3 people for one time, I can switch to entirely new set of 4 different people. That is how I built myself. Because I knew. So that's what Theophilus has been trying to teach you guys over time. You don't just whiz up and just want to start applying. You want to plan yourself. So because I knew I was going to apply for grad school, I needed to learn the information that was necessary for me to not have problems. Because you find out people tell you they pay 100K to one supervisor, tell them write application letter. Why would they pay 100K? Because they did not create relationship with lecturers while they're in campus. So when they now need help, they can't just walk into the office and say, help me now. They will not just do that. So they have to start paying them to do it. Some pay 100K, some pay 200K, some pay 50,000. I have people tell me that that's what they had to do to get a mention letter. So for me, I did not have issues. The mention letter was not a problem. The qualifications were there, but it was not yet my time. That's the conclusion of the whole matter. It was not yet my time. But how did I know it was not yet my time? I did not know until I kept on trying. And the one I would be my time came in. And I got the years I needed. And every of the 4 years story I have shared with you does not matter now because I am here. I'm doing my best to make sure I do well here. So that is just on one side. Now, for letters of recommendation, I would share with you. I will also still send this to Theophilus so you can share with you on the group. I have saved some of my files during this course of my application. So it was on my former system. And I've been trying to copy them since yesterday. It will take me 2 days to finish copying them. But when I'm done copying them, I'll be able to download it and send to Theophilus so you guys can have a list of materials that can serve as a guide for you. And also, Theophilus, I will tell him to send you guys, there's this document by, there's a body, they have a to Z of scholarship application. They will send, that's a lot of materials. Anybody that reaches out to me, I used to send it to them. Also, I've forgotten the title of the material. So he will send it to you, maybe once I'm able to access the document. So let's start with letters of recommendation, KYCU. I'm trying to log into my system. Few minutes, please. 2525. Yeah. KYC. So what's the letter of recommendation? KYC. And how do you write one? 941. Sorry. 2525. Yeah. So your letter of recommendation as it works here. When I got here, I understood the importance of letter of recommendation. So I'm currently doing my MSc here, right? And I would likely want to go for a PhD program by the time I am done. So yeah, they believe so much in referrals. So you know Mr. A, you want to work with Mr. A's office. But before working in Mr. A's office, you have worked with Mr. B. Mr. B wants to get a statement from Mr. A telling him that he knows you and knows your strengths and believes that you will do well in their lab. That is just a summary, or in their office, of what a letter of recommendation is. So if you're not a good person, or you have not shown yourself to have that ability, How would that person write that letter of recommendation for you? Now, owing to the Nigerian system where we are now, it's possible your supervisor does not know about graduate applications and may not be able to write what you want. So I tell people, you can suggest to them, sir, can I send you a sample if you want that you can use as a guide? So not as if when you send that sample, they are going to use that sample. They are not fools. They are also professors. They are intelligent, even though they may not know about graduate applications. But they will look at what you have sent and they will either embellish it and make it better or use that guide to draft theirs. So by now, I also expect that in your application document, you also have a format for letter of recommendation that you want to send to those that will help you. Now, there are some, like I know Professor Additional from CEP, that he has sent several. He has sent several for many of us who are in the US now. So he has samples. He can just use and change your name, and that is all. So, but then you are different from Mr. B. Mr. B is different from Mr. C. So there are certain things you may want to show the lecturer, let him include in your letter that he may omit. And that is why you want to have a sample that you share. So I will share some samples with you. But basically what you are looking at for data organization, you want to have an opening paragraph. That opening paragraph will clearly state the purpose of the letter. I'm coming. Let me open it now. I still believe you can still see my screen. I saved it on my WhatsApp. It's on my system, but I just have to move it to my WhatsApp. General, okay, yeah, Theophilus. So this is it. Just once. So look at this, for instance. So this was a sample that someone has used. Letter of reference on Mr. K. Temitope. So he started by saying, I write in respect of the above candidate who is applying for admission and program into the postgraduate program at your institution. See now, I have known him for about 9 years as his teacher and his supervisor during his undergraduate and postgraduate programs in the Department of Industrial and Production Engineering at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. Now, during my interactions with Temitope, I noticed that what earned him an excellent academic record was not his natural brilliance, but his great zeal and art tenacity to understand new and intricate concepts. Now, if you hear this as someone to impress someone and saying this about someone, won't you be happy? We continue. Temitope is hardworking and diligent. He uses his initiative very well, while also working well with peers. He has a good taste for knowledge and is very capable of designing solution schemes for problem mediation. He is very much able to meet goals, giving the freedom of self-supervision and peering. I want to let you understand that every supervisor will love this, that you can stay on your own in the lab and they are not with you and you can do your work. Yes, they want to have that level of confidence. I have a friend currently at UNH. She is a PhD student now. She said, as supervisor has never been to her farm for once. She has drafted the proposal, she has sent to him, he has seen it. When she wants to buy the stuff she needs on the farm, she just sends to him, he buys it and sends to the farm. He has not been there, but he believes that she's doing the work and she gives her weekly reports as usual. So that's the level of confidence she wants to have. Now, this is just a format. There are several formats. So he said, I put him in the top 1% of students taught in the last 10 years. Imagine. He graduated at the top of his class, both in his undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. He is honest and emotionally balanced. So apart from that, you're academically sound. What about your behavior as a person? He has no physical challenge to limit his productivity. Assistantship or scholarship would aid in achieving his career goals while attaining a potent contribution to global and national development. He has excellent skills and works well with his peers. You see, don't say that you can work in a team. He has all the hallmarks of a good teacher and should do well if given the opportunity. As Temitope's supervisor during his bachelor and master's program, I was impressed by his creativity in solving problems that can boost. Now, this person is now relating it to what? The field, languages of the field. You start seeing language of the field now. Six Sigma approach in safety management. Abi? And he said this person he has even published it already. Then he continued. He said, also, Temitope's fast array of voluntary works shows his willingness to accept responsibility and has also helped him to develop critical interpersonal skills such as leadership, teamwork, and effective communication, among others. He said, given his educational, leadership, and corporate background, I hear him recommend him highly for the scholarship without any reservation. This sounds nice. Now, some other ones will not use this approach. So I'm still going to send it to Theophilus and he will send it to you. And when I get the record, I also send to you. So you see, there's not just one way to do it. And this is another one. So this is a PDF that contains, I think, about 5 letters of recommendation for one person. This person was applying to Mythic University. So this is the year. She said, to the review committee, that was how the person started. I am pleased to write a letter of recommendation for Janet Lerner, an honors undergraduate student in our program. Now you see what they started by doing. You clearly state the purpose of the letter. That's the opening paragraph. You want to clearly state the purpose of the letter. You want to identify the candidates and also the opportunity or scholarship program that person is applying for. And you also want to briefly outline your relationship with the candidate. So you're putting yourself as the supervisor now, for instance, now, because you're writing to the supervisor, the person wants to help you write letter of recommendation to submit. So you want to put yourself in that position. So you want to ensure that you are stating all these things clearly. You want to state the purpose of the letter. In the first opening paragraph, you want to state, identify the candidates, the name, you see, is identify the candidates. You want to also identify the opportunity. What's the opportunity here? He said, I am pleased to write a letter of recommendation for Janet Lerner. So letter of recommendation, that's what the person is writing. He identified the purpose of the letter. Next, it moves to the person. An honors students, undergraduate honors means you come up with a very good GPA, like the first class in Nigeria. That's what it is here. Now in our program. Now, how did you know the person? That was the next thing. Briefly outline your relationship with the candidate. How long? In what content? So in this content, he said, I came to know her. He said, I have known Janet for more than 2 years. I came to know her very well when she was a student in my economic geography course. Now, this person only taught this person. The last one we read, that person was a supervisor. So you see that the content is different and the approach was different. And so you see the relationship there. Now, this summer, I hired her to work in an NSF-sponsored research project on human dimensions of global environmental change. And for the past 6 months, we have been developing a laboratory manual for my undergraduate course on the global economy. It is the basis of the extensive experience. It is on the basis of this extensive experience that I write a letter of unequivocal support. Now, who will read this and not be happy? So the person has identified that I know this person. How did we meet? In what context? I taught them geography and also worked with this person doing this. Now the person now goes on to mention the academic and professional competence. He said, Janet is an undergraduate student in the honors program at Mythic University. The honors program is designed to provide the educational experience of a small Ivy League college within a large public university. Now, he's not trying to tell the person why Janet is a good candidate. Now, academic and professional competence. He's saying, to be accepted, a student must have a high SAT scores, be an excellent writer, and have very good high school grades. Students fulfill their course requirement by taking honors courses or by selecting a combination of classes with a heavy emphasis on graduate seminars and independent reading courses. Students must maintain a GPA of 3.2 or better in all courses in order to remain the honors in the honors program. Janet has fulfilled this requirement admirably. See, he's telling them that this person is academically sound. That's academic and professional competence now. She has fulfilled it. What? She has fulfilled it. Janet has fulfilled this requirement admirably, maintaining a GPA of this score or better throughout her career. Janet has fulfilled the requirement admirably. Now, over the last few years, Janet designed a difficult curriculum for herself. So now he's talking about what he has seen this person do. So you are the one that will give your supervisor this story. They don't know this story about you, except you have that kind of relationship to a particular extent. Professor Addition, for instance, he knows everything I have done while I was in LAUTECH. Because for most of the programs I organized in LAUTECH, when I brought Samson Bole to campus, he was there. So he knew me. So I know he could write. My former HOD, Professor Kolawole, he knew me because he knew everything I've been doing. My steps. Even when I went back for my MSc in LAUTECH, I did not finish because of this program. He knows my plan. So they know me. So they can write. I did not need to give them any guide when I was writing. The only time I needed to give someone a guide was because there's some data information that your supervisors will write and send. The school will send them prompts. They will write and send. You will not see it. For some, they have to write from the start. Why there are some that you have to upload yourself. So for those you have to upload yourself, like when you apply for me, when I applied to I was applying to Netherlands, Wageningen University, I was admitted 3 times. 2021, that's 2022, 2023, 2024. But I did not qualify for their scholarships. They had about 2 scholarships. I did not qualify for it because they only needed 1 person from Nigeria, and we were 3. They will tell you those ones were even open and blunt. So they did their own ASP method and they selected. So that's not my concern now. So I'm trying to let you understand that for the ones that professors will send on your behalf, you will not have any control over it. Says professor and say, okay, bring, let me see. But for the one you'll be drafting and uploading yourself, so that you just go to them, to put their stamp and the title on it, and you go and upload yourself. Make sure you are writing the best of the best that speaks to your strengths. So you want to speak to your academic and professional competence. So this person talking about this person's academic achievements. Now, the next thing was looking at was projects or research. Abi? Now, he continued. In the last one I showed you, the person talked about the person's resilience and independence, able to work on with less supervision. So you want to also address that part. Now, she's comfortable with herself. Can you see? She's comfortable with herself and is well recognized by her peer group. Can you see? Well recognized, meaning that the person has a good relationship with the peer group. She, along with her peers from the honors program, would enter the nation's best graduate schools next year in various fields in medicine, law. Can you see? Now she seeks to enroll in your graduate planning program. Janet is an enthusiastic, energetic, exceptionally well organized. She writes beautifully, is widely read, and demonstrates good quantitative skills. So this person is, you are speaking to your skills, and these skills are essential for grad school, definitely. In my economic geography course, she was the best student in the class. So you see the person is still talking about the person's abilities. Abi, he continued. She always came to class prepared and was clearly far above her peers in understanding and appreciating the course materials. He moves to the next one. I have been especially impressed by Janet's determination and sparkle. Now he's speaking to the next thing: personal qualities and soft skills. So the first one was the opening paragraph that showed clearly your purpose of the letter. You want to identify the candidate and opportunity they're applying to. You want to state your relationship with the person and how long. 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. What context? Is it school? Is it work? In what context? Now, the next thing, we'll talk about the academic and professional competence that the person has. Then the next, we'll talk about the personal qualities and soft skills. Now, you see, the person went next towards personal qualities and soft skills. Abi, I work on the model. So, you see, I work on the Model United Nations program. It's an extremely large responsibility. So, this person has worked somewhere. This organization is like a volunteering work. The person is aware of it. So if you have volunteering work too, you want to put it there and write as if you are the lecturer. Now you continue. Now she talked about the work the person is doing. Now he said to undertake this task successfully, she must understand international relations, international political economy, and world economic development issues. Her UN work has clearly influenced her interest and has been very broadening experience for her. I am sure one explanation for why she has done so well in the courses with me is that she understands the geography of. So the person is speaking to the strengths of this candidate. So you're talking qualities and soft skills now. Now, concerning her potential as a teaching assistant, now this person is possibly applying to this school as a teaching, because when you come in as a graduate assistant, you come in as a teaching assistant. I want to believe that Theophilus has also taught you this. There's teaching assistant, there's research assistant. What I do currently is research assistant. So now he's saying, oh, as a teaching assistant, while she was with me, Janet has detailed experience in so and so area. Can you see? So how will you see such a content? You can take your time, you can see my screen and read through. How will you see such a content as a supervisor and not be willing to work with this kind of a person? How? Just tell me how. So I know from discussion with colleagues and graduate students in my department that we all think Janet is a very special student. I have enjoyed getting to know her as a person. That's her personal qualities now. And find her surprisingly mature for a young age, quite capable of working entirely on her own in a self-directed manner. I am pleased that Janet is planning to enroll in your graduate school starting this fall. I have no doubt. So that is next step. So potential and suitability for the program was the next thing. So the first opening paragraph, you talked about your statement of purpose. You state the purpose of why you're writing the letter, you know the person, what content, you want to identify the candidate. The next thing, academic and professional competence. The next thing, you want to speak to personal qualities and soft skills. It could be based on organization, leadership. You see, you mentioned I work with the MUN. You don't talk about integrity, independence, resilience. The next thing, potential and suitability for the program. Now look at the statement he said. He said, I am pleased that Janet is planning to enroll in this school. I have no doubt that she has the skills, the focus, and determination to successfully complete a master's degree in a timely fashion. I also believe that she will seek to complete a PhD. Can you see? You now closing paragraph now is the next one. End with a strong endorsement. Janet is a rare find. She is well trained, ambitious, and yet very open-minded and even self-effacing. I believe she will be successful wherever she ends up attending graduate school. She will be a dedicated student and a competent professional. I recommend her very highly and without reservations. Signed sincerely, Junior teacher, professor of geography. So this is just one. I have other samples that time will not permit us to go on because of questions you guys will have to ask. And that I know it's late in Nigeria already. So I will definitely be sharing this so you also see. So you are not just writing for writing sake. So for me, what I now tell people is when you are going to do it, when you go through this message, this file, as you see. Now, for the two supervisors, let one focus mainly on your research and some of your maybe your volunteering activity. The other one we talk about personal time and things they've seen you do. The other one we talk about your academics. That's people use that format. Academics, one will talk about your academics, one will talk about your professional experience, one will talk about. So it depends on who you are giving who you are including your letter of recommendation. That is what will determine what you want to do. Who you are giving letter of recommendation. So you want to have draft like 2 or 3. You want to have drafts for it. I also share with you the one I use for Virginia University. So because that one I needed to draft it and I took it to the second former HOD, that's Professor Babajide. So he just read it. Oh, good. He stamped it. I went to the HOD before him, Professor Kolawole. Good. He read it, he stamped it. And the last person, Staraji, good. He read it, he stamped it. I drafted it differently. So you want to show in that letter if you are doing something yourself or you want to give some of them will tell you to send them a guide. And there's no problem with that because they may not know the process. Good. You may be the first students who would open their eye to that world of graduate school, and then before they will start guiding other students also through you. So you can offer to give them a sample, and you want to have a very good sample with your details that they can pick up from and embellish and write in your behalf, because it means they are putting their name in line to recommend you, and you definitely don't want to go and disappoint them when you get there. That is what a letter of recommendation is. For the person to write it for you. Yeah, I learned here recently. And US, if you have not done as a supervisor, they will never write for you. You know, in Nigeria, they can just pity you, they will write for you. But here, they will not write for you. I've heard stories. People have told me they will not write for you. Once they feel you will not do well, they will write for you. If you go and give them, they'll write against you and you lose the opportunity because they are very sincere people here. They are like an open book. If they have cancer and they are going for kidney tomorrow, they are going for their therapy tomorrow, they will tell you. That's how free they are as the people. They don't hide things. So there's nothing like secrets with them. So nobody will now put their name on the line for you. So you want to ensure that if you have not finished school, you are still in school, you build a good rapport with your lecturers, good relationship with your lecturers, and that you are doing your part. And if you are finished, how do you keep contact? On WhatsApp, they're on WhatsApp, send them new mode messages. Apart from that one on new mode message on WhatsApp, send them personal text messages. Come back during your NYC, find a week or 2, come back and see them. And say you come to see them, talk about your plans, what you intend to do. A bottle of wine, Omoluabi, drop. It is not much. It's not as if you can pay them any amount. Just drop it so they remember you and keep contact again by sending messages after that period, pending when you need it. So it's not be that you now need letter of recommendation in August. In January, you know it when you just put their name there. The world does not work that way. It's a win-win. You want to build relationships. Very, very important. All right. So in summary, your letter of recommendation should have these things. It should have, I'll be sending this to Theophilus now, so that you guys can, he will also share with you on the platform. So your letter of recommendation should have the following content, the opening paragraph, as you see in that one that Theophilus will send to you, and the one I shared with you that shows the clearly state purpose of the program. You should also have identify the candidates, the opportunity, what's the relationship with that person, how long have you known that person? An academic and professional competence. Describe specific academic achievements, your project, things you have done. If it is you have volunteered for this, put it there. If you have done this, put it there. And some of us even have evidence on Instagram. I mean, on Facebook. For me, I have evidence on my Facebook. I learned late to put those evidence on my LinkedIn. I thought LinkedIn should just always be only professional. So it took me a while. So you find many things on my Facebook that are not on my LinkedIn yet. I wish I had done that earlier. So all those events you go for, don't just post picture and say we are the so and just drop there. No. What did you learn? Who were the speakers? What points stuck with you? And how do you think this can contribute to the growth of the world or this area or this field? Mention it and put it, find picture there. Don't just go and post picture and say happy to be at so and so and just stop. No, don't do that. Check my Facebook, you see there are many stories you read because that is what the person sees. So when they now search your name online, if you are a constant poster and you have been posting those things, they know, they identify you with, oh, this person is consistent. He has been in this field for a year. Yeah, I can recommend this person because that's what they will see first. Even why they send a lot of information, is there a kind of way to prove that you have these things? If you say you volunteer on your LinkedIn or your Facebook, there's no one single place of a picture of you volunteering. Who are you deceiving? Because the world has gone to a point whereby you want to have an online presence, a professional online presence, because that is who you are. You may be a different person physically. There's a physical presence, an online presence. People meet your online presence first before they meet your physical presence. This applies to every aspect of our lives. Someone has voted me before. I don't know what happened during course of my business. So the man said, when he heard my name, he just went online and he typed my name and Facebook wrote my name and he was going through my profile. I was like, no, this is not the person. He called me on phone and said, oh, this is what happened though. I said, I'm not sure on this, but it's not me. He said, yes, I know it's not you. Because I've gone through your Facebook. I'm trying to trace the person. Maybe he made a mistake in the number. So I've been trying to go through your Facebook. I can see you're not kind of a person. What I saw on your Facebook, no, you're not kind of a person. So it helps because people see your online presence first. Even when you're a good person, if you post bad things, what people think you are a bad person. That's it. So you cannot say you are doing this and doing volunteering and you're writing volunteering for your lecturer to put in your letter of recommendation. I don't have any volunteering stuff on your LinkedIn or on your Facebook. Please, so don't do that. So in summary, you don't just start. You need to have a plan. By now, as I said, I believe you have your passport already. This scholarship will be out. Some scholarships will start coming out very soon. You want to put in your best foot. Some are already out. MasterCard is out already. Edinburgh. I'm sure Theophilus also shared with you guys. You want to have your CV, you want to have your SOP, your transcript. If you have publications, good. If you don't have publications, good. Your letter of recommendation. You want to have a sample of all these things that would have been proofread by your colleagues or your friends in this journey along with you, or people who are already in the graduate school, maybe possibly, if possible, in a similar field too. Let them go through it for you and give you insights. So that way you are not working alone. So you want to have all these documents as someone who is preparing for this journey. Because I can tell you, it is getting tougher. It's going to be a battle very soon. And so when I got here, I found out many of the things I know now, and I can inform people better. So now, I'm sure you have read or you have seen people who tell you, oh, they've read The Richest Man in Babylon, right? The Richest Man in Babylon is how would I put it? It's a very good book about someone who was rich. Well, and I ask people the question, so because you have read The Richest Man in Babylon, does it mean that, I want to stop sharing my screen, does it mean that everybody who have read that book today, they are rich? And no, they are not rich. But the principles they learn from that book puts them on the path to richness, right? It puts them on that path to richness. Because the time that person was writing that book, the situations of the world at that time is different from your own condition and your own situation. You are unique, you are peculiar. Your journey is different. Like I said, and I shared examples with you guys. I've told you, I have people that I have trained, I have taught, I have put through the process from start to finish. Even when I have not even gained admission at all. And they're in the US. They are doing their PhD, I'm still doing my MSc. And my seniors, that doesn't take anything from me. Person's journey is different. So, but then and I say, oh, what is this person? This person does not know anything. If they had not listened to me, maybe they will not be there where they are today. Because they're not looking at what I was saying. They're not looking at my condition or who is talking to them, but they're looking at the principles of what I'm saying. Is it true? So look at the contents. What I told them to do, what I'm telling them to do, is it true? Does it work? So when you look at those that have read the book, the richest man in Babylon, yes, cannot be as rich as the richest man in Babylon as he wrote in that book or the way that book portrays it. But if you follow those principles, there's an assurance to a certain level, let's say 70%. I follow those principles to work out. So that's why you also have these sections coming up, and we are telling you, do this, do that, do this. Now, that doesn't mean that it will always be that perfect. It will work out because that person has done it. Your journey is different too. Many of you will start together, but you may not all get to graduate school at the same time. Don't get envious. Me and I have a friend, FFO, that's his name, Taiwo. We started together in 2021. He's finishing. He's supposed to finish May, but he had an extension, so he's finishing by December this year. We started together. But this is because he has gone ahead. If I now said I'm beefing him, oh, I'm jealous, because that's the human heart normally, and that's why we go to church or go to mosques. And then I just say I close communication with him. I don't talk to him again. How would he have remembered me and said, oh, now my school has removed GRE. Udia has good profile now. Let him just try my school. How would I have gotten that information? And how would I have also gotten here if I had not gone ahead to now say, oh, let me try it again. Even though I have had several rejections, let me try it again. I have done interviews. Now, apart from your application process, I want to let you know so that there's what we call the opportunities that some people post. They can post opportunities. If you look at my mail, you see some. I'll say the application for MSc, so there are some opportunities that people post. You send a cover letter, your transcript, your research writing or writing sample, and you send to that person. They have a position in their lab, and so you don't have to go through the school first to get them. You just send it to them directly. That one I have done. I think I've done. If I've not done at all, I've done at least 50. I have done interviews. I've lost count. But one thing I learned through the course of these interviews and everything I've been doing was that I have grown. So if you come in for an interview today, it is not a big deal. I know what to expect. I know what to do. And I can teach people what to expect in interview and even do mock sessions of interview for them. Why? Because over the years, while I was not getting admission, I was growing. So your life should not be on pause because of graduate school. If there are other things you are doing while applying, continue. If it comes, you now pursue it, then you leave that thing that you are doing. But if it does not come, that doesn't mean that your life is bad, your life is worst. You want to continue until you just get a yes. It's just one yes you need, though. Just one. It's just one. And that's one opens the door for several other opportunities for you. That's one open the door of several other opportunities for you. So, like I said, we can only guide you and tell you do this, because these are tested principles, right? But because your journey is different and we are not God, we are humans and we cannot see beyond our nose. It may not come the way you want it. It may not come after sending just 5 messages, 5 applications. It may not come. It can come in any way. But one thing that makes it sticks for you, one thing that eventually gives you the success is the fact that you did not give up. In my group, we used to tell ourselves, till we all win. Till we all win. Keep your dreams alive. That's the language you use. Till we all win. I use that language, or keep your dreams alive. So you may not get admission with your colleagues who are already going, they're getting admission. It's not because you are bad, or there are things beyond our reasoning as humans. There are things that are beyond us. There are things that God has in store for us. We don't know those plans except we have done our part, or we're going to do our part and it works out. Someone was saying yesterday, and I continue with him. He said, "You see a pregnant woman, Abi, a pregnant woman, but you don't know how many times the husband has tried before that woman got pregnant. So people do not see the level of work you have done, or will they see your sacrifices that you have put into the job? It's only the results they see. That's how it also is for me. So when I now got here now, people started reaching out to me. Good, they reach out, definitely. But it does not come that easy. Whereas I have people who did not have to go through all the stress I went through. And I don't pray anybody goes through that stress. I want you to just finish school and you are there once. Finish school and you are there once. And that's why I'm saying that you guys are lucky you have Theophilus to guide you. There's a level to which mentorship will help you that doing it alone will not help. Then I could remember I will send messages to Nigerians who are in the US on LinkedIn, and they will not reply me for days. Some reply me and tell me they don't have time. Whereas you have people who are willing to create time from their busy schedule for you. And as at the time they said the meeting, email you not even on the call. I was just like, ha. So do your part, do the work, do not give up, and trust God. Trust that you are going to get it. It is just 1 year. So follow the principles that you've learned, the principles that you continue to learn, follow it, and trust that eventually it will come. And like the Bible will always say, the race is not for the swift. Abi, you know that very verse. But it is God that showeth mercy. So when it is time, but you don't know if it is time, if you don't what? Apply. If you don't pay that price, sacrifice, get that money from his uncle. Stop that uncle for this letter of application. Do this, do that. You don't know. But when it comes, you'll be happy. Trust me. You'll be very, very happy. So, in a nutshell, thank you for giving me your attention. I would be sending the samples I have. I've sent it already to Philos, and any other sample I can get across, I am going to send to him when I give room for. I hand over to the coordinator. Thank you.
Dixie, are you still around?
Oh yeah, sure. That was not a class. That was more than a class, actually. That was more than a class. My goodness. This is loaded. Man, this is loaded. Thank you, Ja. You really did pour your heart. Like, oh my goodness. This, what did I just hear? Like, wow. Wow. Can we just give a clapping emoji if you could hear me? That was a lot. When he started sharing the slide, I'm like, what's going on? Like he did, I mean, when he started sharing those pictures, taking back time back in time in memory and all of that, that's profound. What did I just listen to? My God. Wow. 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 Can we just say thank you, Uja, on the comments? I need to type it myself, not just.
No. You don't have to
Oh,
do that. I also have
oh
received I've also received help. None of us are above help. So this is just me giving back and paying it forward as I can. So
my
we are
God.
all products
Wow.
of
Wow. I
God's
think
mercy.
this should be my first time of being in a scholarship talk, and it is pragmatic. Yeah, yeah. This is pragmatic. This is just hands-on experience. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Imagine we have 25 people on board today. That's profound. Yeah. Well, actually, when I recruited people in January, I let you guys know you guys were 50, but I removed people. I don't care if we are just five. Why? Those five I can carry them easily. I don't want people that you give them assignment, they are not doing it. Then, if you cannot do assignments, little write SOP, let us review the nonsense you write. Some people say they want to write nonsense. Write the nonsense, let us review the nonsense you write. Then you keep improving. If you write something good, let us review the good things you've written. And that is just the beautiful thing. But you have to keep making efforts. So he really did, he did justice to that. And I could say this is a good way to end um discussion on application process. He talked about letter of, I'm just doing a little recap because I need to go out of here soonest. I have presentation tomorrow and I've not practiced it. So
They will not understand yet, but we hope that they come here soon and they will
yeah,
understand.
imagine I have to present my PI tomorrow, and I built about 112 molecules that I'm presenting tomorrow. So for the next 3 to 4 hours, I'll be on my computer trying to simulate how it's going to be tomorrow, get my story right. So it's going to be a lot of challenging moments. So you guys need to just do that. But you just did. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Do you know? Okay, I'm actually trying, as I'm talking, I'm trying to read a paper. Then I saw my lecturer, one of my professor in school, he works on fungi. So I saw someone cited his work. That's an amazing stuff. One of the things, I was reading this paper yesterday. The last time we had meeting where I told you I was reading paper. Yesterday, one of the things I noticed is this day now, I read paper for living. Like I found joy reading manuscripts, especially organic chemistry manuscripts. Profound stuff. Profound stuff. So guys, Uja really did a great stuff. Quick one, let's go to the question. I think some people.
Yeah, permit me. I am with you. I'm just trying to get food because I'm very hungry. I've not eaten this morning.
Say, like you are. No, you are good. You are good.
We need to
Like you
touch
should
you.
eat. I'm also hungry. I finished a bottle of fruit juice because I couldn't just. I don't want to grab every stuff now. Aha. The first question is from. Let me see if I'm not missing any question. Someone is asking, what is the writing sample? I saw it in your email. This inbox while you were showing
All right.
us your experience.
All right. So the writing sample is so if for some schools, when you apply for some schools, they'll tell you to send along with your CV, SOP, letter of recommendation, and your transcripts. You have to send what they call a writing sample. So for a writing sample, what you did in your undergraduate as a project. So you can take the introduction, take abstract introduction, then take your. I tell people to take the materials and method and conclusion. Materials method, sorry, before materials and okay, materials and method, result and discussion and conclusion, and combine it together and send. You just combine it and just call it writing sample. So writing sample is just basically saying we want to know that this person can write or do research. So you're not sending your research to them, but just extract and send. Some will be specific in some schools will tell you just send your introduction or just send abstract and introduction. So most of the people just send abstract, introduction, materials and method, and conclusion. But some people they'll tell you to send everything. So a write sample is just to prove to the school that you are capable of writing, you can write. They don't say that you can write. And mostly people who this ask this of are those who definitely get what we call research assistantship positions. Yes, they don't say that you can write. So, for research, you are writing. I just submitted a proposal last week, Tuesday. On Friday, I had it accepted. I've given me another topic to work on again currently. I'm working on that. So, you never stop writing as a research assistant. So, they want to know that you can write. That is the essence of a writing sample, most times for your application process.
Right, that's good. You said you applied to a lot of schools. How were you able to get your lecturers? People uploading letters wasn't
So
a tedious task.
yeah, that's why I was trying to share with you my personal experience in the sense that I tried as much as I could to maintain relationship, and I taught you how you can do that. So I know you may have finished school or you are still in school. Just build relationship with them. If you have left school, you are in NYC now, come back and pay visits to your school and use that day to say hello. And while you are there, don't just say hello. Ah, I am one of your students, so this if they remember you good or what's here
Nigeria,
or
you
what
did
person what said. Now, while you are there, I tell people to take at least something, not just go empty-handed. It could be a drink or a gift. Just go and drop. Then tell them your plans. They are also parents. That's the thing. They are fathers and mothers. They are also fathers and mothers. They also have children that they want the best for. So when you tell them about these things, good. Why there are some that maybe by their own nature, they may not be willing to, they'll just tell you, you have to pay. No problem. Maybe it's to pay. No problem. But for that kind of person, you want to make sure that you are giving that person the best of the best in your writing. And that's why you also need to know how to write a letter of recommendation so you can give that person a sample to work with. Because sometimes when they apply, when they're helping you to submit your application, they'll tell you waive rights in your application. So when you waive a right, it means that what the person submitted on your behalf, you cannot see it. Now, if you don't waive your rights, what the person submitted on your behalf, you can see it. And I advise people to waive their rights. It shows that you trust the person writing letter of recommendation for you. So you have to waive your rights. So you want to make sure you're giving the person the best thing to write on your behalf. So build relationship with your lecturers. Have at least three. Me, I had what do I call it? I had a whole department at my back. I keep on saying there was no office I could not enter. Because for each of the lecturers and their courses they taught me, there's no way. I interacted in all their classes. I asked questions. I engaged them. So they know me. So if they don't even know my name, when they see me in their office, they remember this boy now. I know this boy. So that is how it is. So you create relationship with your lecturers. It's very, very important. Thank you.
Right. When applying to schools, there is a space to upload writing sample. Does uploading your publication serves as a writing sample? I have issues with this part. Also, when professor asks for a writing sample, I
Yes,
think
you can use
just
your
address that.
publication. Yeah, that's the best. If you have a publication, use it. But if you don't have a publication, use your undergraduate project, final project that you submitted. Use that as a sample. So what you just have to do, you want to just take out the important points. They arrange the abstract introduction, because you don't want to be giving them too much information. Then your materials and method, what you use, then you talk about your discussion, then conclusion. That will work. So if the school does not give a guide, yes, do that.
Okay, thank you. Does it necessary important to get a letter of recommendation? Okay, I mean, all the three recommenders must be lecturers. What if those that are working? I'm not sure I get. Okay, I think let me reframe the question. The person is trying to confirm. I think I need to end the recording since Suja is eating.